Low libido in men. This is an issue that's often overlooked, and it isn't just psychological. There are clear physiological reasons behind it. Let's talk about the 5 causes of low libido in men and 5 evidence-based ways to boost it. So let's get started. Also, real quick before we get started, it would mean the world to me if you hit the like button, and if you enjoyed the content, turn the bell on to stay up to date with new weekly videos. The first cause of low libido in men is having low testosterone. You see, testosterone is produced mainly in your Leydig cells of your testes under the control of the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, aka the HPG axis. The hypothalamus releases gonadotropin-releasing hormone, aka GnRH, which then signals the pituitary gland to secrete luteinizing hormone, or LH. LH then stimulates the testes to produce testosterone, and it's important to then focus on ways to optimize the function of the HPG axis, because when testosterone levels drop, it is clear that libido does as well. And you might be asking, what's causing this drop? Well, a few of the most obvious causes are aging, obesity, diabetes, or conditions such as hypogonadism. So it's important to figure out the underlying condition that is specific to you and start restoring that, because what happens on the molecular level is low testosterone reduces nitric oxide synthesis, then that's when that feedback loop will commence. Because nitric oxide is a key molecule for blood vessel dilation, right? Without sufficient nitric oxide, achieving and maintaining sexual arousal becomes difficult. In other words, if you have trouble maintaining an erection, your desire will also plummet as a consequence. For more info on L-citrulline and L-arginine for nitric oxide production, check out these videos here, which I highly recommend you watch next. The second cause is chronic stress in men. The real question is, are men more prone to chronic stress now or 100 years ago? Let me know your thoughts down below. And we all know that chronic stress triggers the release of cortisol from the adrenal glands, right? That's part of the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, otherwise known as the HPA axis. But here's the thing. Cortisol is important for managing acute stress. In other words, we need cortisol, but when it's persistently elevated, it suppresses the HPG axis, leading to reduced testosterone production. This is what makes the HPG axis so critical in this conversation, because it's the basis of the whole underlying issue. On top of that, high cortisol levels increase the activity of enzymes like 11-beta hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase 2. This is a big no-no, and I want you to pay attention to why. 11-beta hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase, both the 1 and 2 versions of the enzyme, are expressed in the Leydig cells, right? And under normal conditions, okay, with healthy libidos, normally these enzymes produce NADPH, which helps steroidogenic enzymes like 17-beta hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase 3 to create testosterone. But, and this is a huge but, when cortisol levels are too high due to stress, testosterone production is inhibited. It starts to slow down, which may explain why, if you are chronically stressed, days may have gone by without you feeling any desire for intimacy. The third reason why libido in men can be low is due to sleep disorders. Sleep is critical for hormonal regulation, especially for testosterone. During deep sleep, stages 3 and 4, the body produces the majority of its daily testosterone. Conditions like sleep apnea, insomnia, or just simply not getting enough sleep will undoubtedly disrupt the REM and deep sleep cycles, which will for sure reduce testosterone and libido. This study found that healthy young men who underwent sleep restriction 5 hours nightly experienced a 10 to 15% decrease in daytime serum testosterone levels. So guys, make sure to get down to the bottom of what's stopping you right now from getting quality sleep. The fourth reason is medications. There are some that will just tank your libido, and it differs from person to person too. Some don't experience a low libido with certain medicines, but some do. A good example are your SSRIs like Zoloft, and while serotonin has those mood-enhancing effects, too much of it can inhibit dopamine, which is a key neurotransmitter involved in sexual desire. This is why some doctors will switch people over to Wellbutrin if they are experiencing unwanted sexual side effects from antidepressants. But always talk to your doctor first before making these changes on your own. And lastly, the fifth reason, of course, are relationship issues. Emotional and psychological health play a huge role in libido. Stress in relationships or having a stressful relationship in general reduces the the release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone. It also decreases dopamine, the reward hormone. These two chemicals are so important for creating emotional intimacy and sexual desire. This is why the relationship therapist John Gottman actually promoted this idea of the 6-second kiss.
Men who kiss their wives goodbye when they leave for work live something like 4 years longer than men who don't. But the 6-second kiss, which we recommend, has much more potential than that peck on the cheek.
What is the 6-second kiss?
A kiss that lasts at least 6 seconds.
Why not 5 or 4?
Because oxytocin gets secreted. With a 20-second hug or a 6-second kiss, you're both secreting oxytocin. And that creates a sense of psychological safety and connection.
And bonding.
Most experts will agree that a minimum of 6 seconds of physical contact like a hug or a kiss is needed to initiate oxytocin release. So then how do we boost libido? Firstly, start by identifying the root cause of why it's low. After that, these next 5 areas can be some avenues to explore. Starting with the first one being incorporating exercise. The reason why you need regular exercise for a healthy libido is because on a molecular level, exercise stimulates the release of insulin like growth factor 1 or IGF-1, which enhances Leydig cell function in the testes. Secondly, analyze your diet. 2 important nutrients that come to mind are zinc and magnesium, which both support testosterone synthesis. Zinc actually preserves penile endothelial function, and magnesium improves your free testosterone by slowing down the binding of SHBG. Here are the best food sources for magnesium and zinc, and if you find these food sources hard to incorporate, I've left below these supplements as an affiliate link should you wish to check them out down below. Thirdly, find yourself the best lifestyle intervention for stress management. I talk about Tai Chi and forest bathing as 2 of my favorites, which you can watch in these videos here, and comment down below what's been the best way for you to manage chronic stress. Curious to hear from you. And fourthly, find out a couple ways to improve your sleep hygiene. This will allow peak testosterone production during your REM cycles. One way is to leave all devices outside the room as you sleep. As hard as that might sound in this age where we all are dependent on our phones, this tip alone can be a game changer for some folks. And lastly, you can look into supplements provided you are the right candidate to try them out and your doctor gives you the green light. Try adding in a bit more saffron and tonga ali, both of which I have linked for you below as well. The reason why is best explained in these 2 videos here, which I highly recommend you watching next.